Taking a look at the energy market today, I want to focus on WTI as we close out the week. WTI catching a little bit of a bid today, trying to stem off some of this downward trend after we saw the big move on Sunday into Monday. WTI up slightly on the day, about 58.40 was the current level. When you look at the general chart patterns, though, we are seeing WTI down quite significantly, as I mentioned, from the initial pop from the attacks on the Saudi installation last weekend. Looking at the last couple of days, we have seen WTI now in a pretty decent range. I mean, we're seeing it range bound here below 60, hovering right around this 58 to 59 level. We did see a high of around 59.5 today, a low of 57 earlier in the week. So again, establishing a range here as it sorts through some of the dynamics within the marketplace. And let's look at volatility, and not so much the volatility of the price movement the last few days, so it is somewhat subdued, but implied volatility on those options. When you look at the WTI November options, we're seeing those come in quite dramatically now that we've seen the market find an area to somewhat consolidate. And so you did see today, certainly when you look at the straddles and strangles within the November options complex, coming in significantly today. We saw both the puts and the calls come down quite a bit today, as some of that option premium is now coming out of the markets as we're seeing WTI develop this range. I want to point out a couple trends here to close out the week. Number one, the rig count came out today, Baker Hughes rig count. We saw that down 14 when you look at gas production and oil production. And that trend continues lower, and we're now year over year we're seeing those rig counts down 147 from a year ago level. So that, I think, is very interesting that we continue to see these rig counts decline. However, production is maintaining its elevated level right at or just below the record production in the United States. So we're seeing efficiencies, I think, coming into the marketplace. So when we do see these rig counts coming down, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to see less oil coming on the markets. Also, the trend within the WTI space itself, from a technical standpoint, we're now trending back down here, and we're really in that range that was established between July and August. So again, we're seeing WTI holding in this 58.5 level. We're back in a level where you could see, if we see further weakness from a technical standpoint, if we see a close below 58, that would reestablish that downward trend, I think. And again, we could push back down to that 55 level. So this is a critical level here, I think, from a psychological standpoint, plus a technical standpoint, that WTI hold 58, because if it breaks 58, closes below 58, I could see this trend continuing to the downside.